My name is Miguel Rodriguez. 650 Capitol Mall, Office of U.S. Attorney, Sacramento, 95814.
Miguel Rodriguez, the lead investigator of Foster's death for independent counsel Kenneth Starr, spoke to over 100 journalists. One journalist, Steve Labaton of the New York Times, called Miguel Rodriguez every other day. America's most influential newspaper never reported the story. Why did Steve Labaton in the New York Times fail the public trust?
Labaton still calls me every other day because I know Labaton is a complete believer now. There's no doubt in my mind he's a complete believer. I think that he's a believer and he knows. I spent about 5 hours with him.
To make it appear that Foster was killed with a gun he owned, Kenneth Starr's staff reported the family had brought guns to Washington, D.C. Yet there was no evidence the family owned 2 guns.
No evidence of there being 2 guns either, but there were 2 guns brought up. No evidence at all. There is no evidence that that gun was ever found, ever part of the family. It contradicts an earlier statement by Lisa, who says that it wasn't the gun.
During his effort to investigate Foster's murder, Rodriguez discovered photographs were stolen, destroyed, or withheld to conceal the truth. In the first audio, Rodriguez explained that Foster's body had been moved. The missing photographs would prove the perpetrators recreated the crime scene.
To be honest with you, I think that the photographs that were taken for several people don't exist any longer, or they have never been turned over to reviewing officials. At least 7 were missing, and that was established at one point. Right, at least 5 that were taken by one particular person are gone, and exist in addition to the 13 I had. I had a person look at 13 photographs, and that person told me mine are not here. So that person's photographs are missing. At least that much.
Brett Kavanaugh's Starr's associate gave a good deal of credit to the pathology panel of experts that worked for Starr's predecessor, Robert Fisk. We now learn that these so-called experts did not examine the original crime scene photographs. Dr. Donald Ray, Dr. Charles Hirsch, Dr. Charles Stahl, and Dr. James L. Luke viewed only 3rd and 4th generation copies of photographs.
The photograph that I had developed, that I really don't want to discuss right now, even that photograph, we weren't supposed to see, in my opinion, because I had to go through great lengths to get it, and I do it myself. That was a Polaroid, a picture of a picture of a picture. There were 3 layers. It was a 3rd generation yet. What the first, the whole first team of forensic scientists looked at a 3rd generation photograph. Really ridiculous. I thought that what was particularly interesting also was the finding that when we discovered that there were pictures of pictures of pictures, 3rd generation photographs that were used in the Fisk report.
Starr's office used the same photographs as his predecessor, Fisk. Brett Kavanaugh wrote that the conclusion of suicide was based on photographs, quote, gathered during the prior investigation, unquote. Starr's associate independent counsel Brett Kavanaugh wrote, quote, the 35mm photographs were underexposed, thus the Polaroids were of greater investigative utility, unquote. Kavanaugh knew the 35mm photographs were not underexposed, and he had access to all first-generation photos.
I found the first generation of Polaroids, and I also had the first-generation negatives of 35mm. Very interesting stuff.
Miguel Rodriguez searched and found the original photographs. From those pictures, he discovered that Foster had been moved to recreate the crime scene. According to Rodriguez, Park Police Officer John Rolla's report was not consistent with his own statements. Rodriguez said Officer John Rolla was, quote, incredible, unquote.
And I found Rolla's the notes that he made at the scene, completely incredible and inconsistent with prior statements both made by him and accounts of others. I think he's completely incredible.
During the grand jury process, it is obvious Rodriguez learned important facts about people present at the crime scene. He does not reveal what was said during the proceedings. A slip of the tongue reveals the word special, as in special agents, being present at the crime scene. The only officials at the crime scene, according to the media, were U.S. Park Police, Fairfax County Rescue, and the medical examiner.
God, I'm brimming over. I'm bubbling over, and I'm angry that I cannot respond. I'm angry myself because there's much to be said. Let me suggest to you, investigate. Be investigative reporters. Investigate these people too. What background did they have? Wouldn't it be surprising if these people were special liaisons in a prior life in some capacity? And were there any other supervisor people out there? And what were the backgrounds of some of the police that were out there? There's a whole host of fertile ground out there, you know. And have you really identified all the main players out there at the Park Police?
Patrick Knowlton, producer of this audio, testified before the Whitewater grand jury. Knowlton has first-hand knowledge of grand jury witness intimidation and abuse at the hands of people like Ken Starr's associates, Brent Kavanaugh and John Bates. Rodriguez tells us that Starr used many of the same investigators that were responsible for the Fist investigation, the same FBI agents. Associate Counsel Mark Stein and Deputy Independent Roderick Lankler, whose names appear on the cover of Fisk's report, were also retained by Starr. Rodriguez relates how Stein and Lankler reacted when he suggested that different FBI agents be used to reinvestigate Foster's death.
And I couldn't believe it. And these people, Mark Stein and what was that guy's name from New York, who starts with an L, Lankler. My God, I couldn't. And they had the nerve to look at me straight in the eye, and when I said, look, I think it might be a good idea to use different FBI agents, they went through the roof. They went absolutely nuts. They had everything the way they wanted it. It was a complete sham job. You know, again, I just think it's a whitewash.
As Miguel Rodriguez stated, quote, "These people had everything the way they wanted it," unquote. Kenneth Starr and his associates knew that they could count on the American press to conceal the truth.
Hello, I am Patrick Knowlton. These audios confirm what my lawyer John Clark and the leading expert on the case, Hugh Turley, and I have been telling Congress, the media, and others for years. Attorney Clark, Mr. Turley, and I have spent years calling, mailing, and personally delivering this information to the Congress, to the press, and to others. Every member of the 104th and 105th Congress was provided with documented proof of the criminal cover-up. Every major newspaper and media outlet, including the Network News, Dateline, Nightline, 2020, Larry King Live, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Washington Times, the Los Angeles Times, Chicago Tribune, Newsweek, Time, U.S. News and World Report, CNN, and countless others ignored us. Honest journalism and honest government can be achieved, but not by contacting members of Congress and the press as we have demonstrated. These audios, when distributed, will demonstrate to our family, friends, and neighbors that our current American press cannot be trusted. And with this, we will take the first step towards achieving a better world. As Miguel Rodriguez will tell you, the only battle left is the battle for public opinion.